which is it's like when people record, according to Facebook, a purchase. Now the problem is, I think sometimes people don't get to the confirmation page. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they buy the course and then they get to the OTO, and they leave. So this one, I don't think records all the purchases.
Okay, what's your okay, awesome. This is good. So this tells you though, so targeting people that already have some engagement. The more engagement they have, the more you're targeting. But you're targeting people that clicked from your Facebook ad to your opt-in page, I think is an opportunity. Michelle could help you with that, following the Parks thing.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the OTO. Actually, let's talk about the. Let's talk about your order. And then also your stack is.
Sure. Yeah, I think the stack is a big piece of this, man.
And looks like you're split testing your order too. Okay.
So.
Okay. Why do you need the phone number?
I don't need their phone number.
Get rid of the phone number.
Get rid of it?
Yep.
All right.
And you can split test it, but I don't know how much traffic you got going on to this thing to see.
Not a shit ton.
Okay.
You're saying just because having to enter an additional thing might get them to.
It's not having them enter an additional thing causes friction, but having them enter their phone number specifically causes massive friction.
Okay, good to know.
Like, I don't know about you, but like think about it. If you want to get out your phone number.
Yeah, so the one thing, let me show you, maybe I'll show you this stack first. I don't see, there's testimonials.
By the way, if you're using the phone number, if you guys are going to have it includes like a onboarding
calls with an accountability coach, but the thing is, the booking link for that goes out in an email right away. So it's not like something they necessarily have to provide on the front end, because as soon as they get the link to do the call, they can just provide the number there. But now they're already right.
I would get rid of that. Okay. And then this is your stack. Is your stack up top?
No, it's not also on top.
Okay, so this one could be. This is where so the phone number just removed. Like, just, by the way, I could be wrong because.
Yeah, well, I can just test it. It's all good. It's not.
Yeah. The challenge of like saying like, oh, we'll just test it, because I'd much rather you test what I'm about to say than the phone number.
Got it.
There's like, so here's the thing. There's like universal like principles of like a conversion, right?
Yeah.
And so one of them is that if you don't need the field, don't ask them for it. They'll make it higher. But every site is going to be different. So the answer is to test it, but not everybody is running thousands of users every day to a cart page. Forget about an opt-in page, right?
Right.
So you got to sometimes just go with what the universal thing is.
Got it.
But what I would recommend if you are going to split test would be a radical redesign. And a radical redesign means you are changing lots of elements on the page. It's not like, oh, let's just change this headline and then that's it. Let's just change, you have best deal is yellow, instead you have a green or something, right?
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're going to test the hypothesis that this design is beautiful, but it might be too beautiful, and testing maybe a more traditional webinar checkout page that has a stack. I think in
to the right.
Instead of your picture's amazing, dude. You look like you're about to Clark Kent in and about that, but
yeah, but I don't give a fuck about them looking at my picture. I want them buying the thing.
100%. Yep. And here's what you're going to get, and kind of like just reinforcing the reason why they left your webinar to go buy, with the intention of buying, is because of what? Not because of the awesome picture review.
Yeah.
So, right? But it's because of what the offer was.
Oh. So, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So right now, this is like just a 2-column. And I remember trying to do this. It wasn't as easy, but I can easily get somebody who's good at designing this shit to just move this over. But would it be easy as taking, because I've thought of making this a two-step. Right now, it's a one-step, and I think I'm losing some opt-ins in here because it is a one-step. But I was thinking of taking this and moving it over to the left.
Yep.
And then moving the stack from over here
All right.
to the right of that purchase in some like nicely designed thing.
Yeah, I would ask in the group whose webinar is converting well, or I would just find whatever like I feel like we have this in like a share funnel somewhere. I think in like doesn't like one of the trainings I think has some
yeah, I think template has a bunch of templates.
Yeah, so I just hit up our community. This is where it's awesome to be in this group. It's like, yo guys, who or hey Julie, where and say I had an applaudable Dave. He said my I have the most beautiful webinar funnel he's ever seen design wise, but it actually might be hurting my conversions. Possibly, that's what I'm saying. I don't
yeah, no, it's all good, man. You can't read crystal balls. It's all good.
You can't read it, yeah, but like I've seen it where like the actual order form page doesn't even have the stack. It's just everything is great and just buy it. It doesn't look like a pop up. Like it's like, look, the webinar did its job to sell you, and this is just a place where you enter your information.
Yeah, so, instead of almost giving them reasons to not want to do it.
Yeah, your headline I think you got like 3 headlines going on or 4 headlines going on. Yes, I'm ready to stop struggling. So I would make it much simpler, and then also be like, what is this called? It's called the Ignited Recovery Course.
It's technically called the Ignited Hero Program.
The Ignited Hero Program, right?
So I already see that should be like the same, right?
Probably that would make sense. Yeah. So again, these are little tweaks, but dude, these might be a big deal.
Yeah.
And so, but split tested though. This used to split test. I would remove the phone number on both things, and then make the ones that you're split testing a templated one that Julie has, or that's in this, just a basic standard thing, because.
Yeah.
And this is where the difference: ugly design and free design. It's not a competition. It's like which is going to convert better.
100%.
So we're testing.
You probably. I mean, do you think because everything else has this like blue color, there's some brand related like coloring stuff? I could probably adjust that.
Yeah, for sure. But
just so that like there's consistency.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. But yeah, but less in general design heavy. But yeah, for sure, like you keep your colors the same. And then if you scroll down and check out screenshot below for the men, let's sort of change their like participants. Are you calling them participants or students?
I can call them students. I don't call them clients, but
students, members, participants.
That's what.
And I would then say who invested in themselves and changed their life.
Right.
Or even better, and check out screenshots below from students who invested in the Ignited Recovery or Ignited Results, whatever program, and changed their life.
Yeah.
Little things, right? These little tweaks, but
no, totally. But gets the understanding that each one of these people invested in this program.
Yep. Yep, and then like the value stack is most likely, if I remember Julie's slide or Larson's or Russell's, whatever, that value stack that you see below is up top.
Yeah.
Side by side. Yep. And I would check out Proposal Secrets of how she did her form too.
Or what?
Julie has a course called Proposal Secrets, so we get access to the course.
Yep.
But I would see if there's a way to maybe in the course maybe her funnel's included. See how she did her checkout page, because I love Julie just as a person, and she is a great combination of good design and also good sequencing on a page.
My book funnel was straight up a editing of a template from Julie.
Yep. So, and I don't want to throw. Because I just gave a compliment in the beginning. I'm like, well, whoever designed it's amazing. It is amazing. But when it comes time to like, let's get down to business, you're in or you're out. It would be good again to test it. And this would be a great A/B test because you're not going to get so much traffic that we have the luxury of just testing. Oh, let's remove the phone number in one and keep the phone number in the other.
Right.
Your opt-in page, we do have that. So I would on the webinar opt-in, I would split test the headline.
Yeah.
Just the funnel wizard and come up with a different headline.
Yeah.
And how are you targeting? Are you leveraging? You just said that you got these awesome people results. Are you getting them on video, or is it a hard thing to get people on video to admit that they have an addiction?
Retargeting or the testimonials?
Video testimonials. Because if you have video testimonials, retargeting them with testimonials would be good.
It's just starting. So what I put in place is I modeled Alex Sharfin's billionaire code.
Okay.
And I created an Ignited Hero code. And as part of that, they submit videos as they want to graduate from one level to another. And I've already noticed, it's only been live for about 2 months, but I've already noticed that people are starting to become braver about sharing publicly, and even somebody offered a video testimonial.
Sweet.
Yeah, so hopefully in the next 3 to 6 months, we'll start having a bunch of those, and then I can share those.
Okay, so I think you're in a unique opportunity. So most people, I would say, you get a lot, as many as you can, of like shorter testimonials of like, buy this Amazon course, it changed my life, or Joe, you gotta check out if you want to lose 5 pounds by next week. Debbie's the best person for you, right?
Oh.
But because this topic is so delicate, I think if you only had 1 or 2 people that are down to do the testimonial, I would do it more in an interview form.
Okay.
Let it breathe. Let the conversation breathe. Like, you listen to like Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't make it 4 hours, but it could be a 20, 30-minute conversation with this person and say like, listen, like, first off, and this is how you pre-frame it. Look, we get hundreds of testimonials, but it's usually done through written. And this topic is a delicate topic, and so I just want to acknowledge and thank you for being here today because we both understand that this is bigger than both of us, right? This is your mission now, right? So it's not about I appreciate you coming so I could sell more $997 courses. It's like this is bigger than both of us, and so I just want to acknowledge you for stepping into this so that you can help other people that are watching this right now and they haven't taken the leap to invest in themselves to beat this addiction, and mainly because they don't know what's on the other side waiting for them. And so you're here today to share your story, but just hear what's on the other side. Does that make sense? I think a lot of people, they're scared that their identity, right? They don't know who else they're going to be. I mean, you're the doctor, right? But
absolutely.
Stuff, right? So if you get somebody to show that, well, think about Two Comma Club, right? Dude, you know how powerful it is to be in that audience if you didn't yet hit that milestone and see hundreds of people up on stage getting these things. It's like it's a 4-minute mile. It's people don't believe you, and then even then they still have trouble. It's like we're not like orchestrating 200 people to just show up so they can get on stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a real thing. So, but for you just got to find one and have an intimate conversation, and then use that in your email marketing, use that in your retargeting, and saying like, look, like, hey, like the number one reason we've asked people, the number one reason why they don't, is people are even afraid to watch the training, is because Not that they're going to fail. They're afraid of what if they succeed. It's a huge identity problem. And that's cool. You know, I get you. I see you. I've been there. And in fact, one of my success stories, one of my students, um, is volunteered is because we this is big, again, bigger than ourselves, and we wanted to show you that it is possible and what life could look like if you're willing to whatever. And then, so here's the thing: it is another opt-in funnel, but it's very easy to put up. You don't have to print a book. You just gotta get this guy on a call. Zoom call would be even more powerful, but dude, it could be in a podcast form.
No, I'll do a Zoom and record the interview. It's amazing.
Yep. Do me a favor, strip that audio and also make it MP3 because I could just imagine some dude doesn't want to admit that he's an alcoholic, doesn't want to be at work looking at it, or even like in bed with his wife next to him saying like, "Hey, what you looking at?" But if somebody could do one of these jobs,
yeah.
I mean, I go to bed listening to like my guys all the time.
Would the ad be like? The ad would be like a preview of, hey, you know, I know you checked this stuff out. I want to share this amazing story of success with you from somebody who's been through it. I know this is hard to talk about publicly, but this guy came and had such an amazing outcome from this that he wanted to share it so that you could understand how big the transformation is. And then they click on the ad and they get taken to like a page somewhere where the actual full interview exists.
Yep.
Cool.
Simple as that. Yep.
I mean, I know that a video testimonial ad would kill because social proof is all people want. It's nice fucking dollars a month. Rehab is like 10, 15, 20, $30,000 a month. This is $97 a month. People just have a hard time believing that I can even help them for that little. So seeing social proof would be huge.
Yep, and let it play out. So this is why having a one-on-one call is helpful because normally, like if you're in the e-com space and you're selling a $20 product, like a glow-in-the-dark nightlight, whatever, right? You want like this is the best product ever. Maybe you don't even need videos. You just need like 100 people holding up their selfie, looking at the nightlight and smiling, right? But for something that's a higher price point, $9.97, and it's something like this, it's quality over quantity. I mean, listen, quantity. Look, you get 100 people that leaving video testimonials. Go for that, but that takes time. But if you get one, you can do that much sooner, and it'll have a bigger impact on all levels of your retargeting, right? Email follow-ups. If they never even saw the webinar yet, to get them to watch the webinar. If they saw the webinar, didn't buy, get them to buy. If they bought, they didn't get the 97 continuity. And you could totally just re-leverage this. And you could, so talk to Michelle on that because it could just be the same call to action or different calls to action. So like, listen, I saw you didn't even like you were curious but you didn't even watch the training. It could be that you didn't have time, or it could be like you're scared, not that you're going to fail, but scared you're going to succeed. As a doctor in my practice, I've seen this time and time again. People are don't take action even though they know it's the right thing to do for one of two reasons. The fear of failure and fear of success.
Yeah.
And so I want to invite you, one of my students, even though we have hundreds of success stories, as you guys probably are aware, it's a delicate issue for many. But one of my students had such incredible success that he's willing to be vulnerable today to share his story and to share our story. By the way, what's your story? Did you have?
I used to be a meth addict.
A meth addict. That'd be good.
I like to go light.
Dude, you mentioned that?
My first serious meth dealer lived a couple of blocks from where you are right now. So.
Oh, right. Maybe I know. Is it Tony?
No.
Is that my good guy? Who's my other guy?
I love him.
So, do you mention that? I didn't see your copy. That's pretty polarizing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole webinar is about my story of how I went through it. It's not.
Did you go to Bechuga? Is that what it's called? There's an amazing rehab place that's I don't know if it's Chabad, but yeah.
No, I didn't go there. I went to a place in Pasadena, failed out of that for because I started using in rehab, and then I went to another one that was like just a sober living. But I did a year in jail. I mean, it wasn't It wasn't an easy route to get here for sure.
And what's your doctorate in?
PhD in psychology.
Okay, okay. I hope you mentioned that too, because sometimes like he's like, I'm a doctor so and so, and like you seem like, no, I'm a chiropractor or something like that, or like so I'm a podiatrist.
That's very relevant.
Very, very relevant. Very relevant. So, by the way, do you talk about that? Because most people, I'm assuming, are the expert, but they actually never went through it. And most people went through it, but they don't actually have the training of, even though their heart's in the right place and maybe they succeeded, but it could be a liability not having some
Sure.
basic.
Yeah. So pretty early in the webinar, I have some.
Do you reinforce that in the ads? Because that is
some of them, like the hook sometimes is, some of the hooks are like I could show it to you. It's like, ex-meth addict goes to college, spends 12 years trying to figure out what went wrong, comes up with a brand new solution for addiction, something like that.
Boom. Perfect. And how do they?
They do well. I mean, look, my per webinar opt-in cost is like $5. So much about the conversion.
Yep. Yeah, I think so again, to rehash some quick wins, maybe show that buy now button much later on in your webinar. Oh, also, how long is your webinar, and when are people dropping off from your webinar?
Like an hour and 45 minutes. It's long.
So that's it. No, that's it right there, dude. Did you used to do this webinar live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've done probably like 10 or 15 times live.
And is this just a recording of one of those lives?
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Problem solved. I had the same issue with mine too. Were you at Funnel Hacking Live 2 years ago to see Jason Flaidlin? Get the recording of.
Yeah. Jason, is he the one that had like he was doing Amazon shit?
Yeah, he does everything. He's like me, but it's like way more successful and better looking.
And glasses, right? He like wears glasses.
He does wear glasses, yeah. So yeah. He wears glasses. I don't even wear glasses. I gotta start wearing glasses. At least I could.
There you go. Get that. Mine are around here somewhere.
So rewatch that presentation, because he gives it wasn't the whole talk of the presentation, but he gives some quick nuggets. And I did the same thing. It's like, okay, I perfected the webinar ish. Okay, I didn't do it 50 times. I did it 12 times. Same. I think I did it 20 times. And then great, I just take one of the best ones, the most recent one that made a whole bunch of money, and I go live, and I make that my auto. The challenge with that is live audiences are very different than automated audiences, because your live audience was already warm traffic, because my guest would, actually that's not true. My bad. This was still live from Facebook ads, or did you do JV stuff with people?
No, it was live primarily from Facebook ads, but I got to tell you, there's another trick to this, which is when I did it originally. So when I was at that Funnel Hacking Live, you're right about this, right? So when I would get a bunch of people to the webinar and it would convert, like the times that I was converting, there was never a lot of traffic into it, but it was like, I'd have like 7 or 8 people on it, and I would sell like 3 or 4, right? So it's like 30%, 40% would buy, but small numbers. But at that time, I would go on Facebook Live, I would go on Instagram and go, hey, I'm going to do my webinar at blah, blah, blah. It's all super warm. And then I would sell. When I tried, I can't even get people to show up to the live webinar from cold traffic. It's nearly, I mean, we tried different times, we tried different pitches, we tried different email sequences to get them to it. Even on the weekend, which was the one that converted the best for us in terms of show up, I would get 5, 6, 7 people to show up, and maybe like 10% would convert, maybe when I was lucky.
Yep. So I would just freaking cut your webinar. Find the recordings from 2 years ago. Just ask them in the group.
Oh, I have it. I have the recording.
Yeah, it should be around. And none of the like, hey, Debbie's on. Debbie, where are you from? Anybody else from New York? Like, hey, what's your favorite pizza spot? None of that stuff. Just be like, okay, and 3, 2, 1, here we go, and go right into it. So I'm not sure if do you even have that, like the stalling a little bit at the beginning.
No, I definitely so that part I do, and I start at hello everybody and welcome to the. So I do that.
Okay.
And I'm sure I talk to people throughout it.
Yeah, I would I would cut the heck out of it. And if you want to find out the time to cut it to, do you have what video metrics do you have?
It's sitting on it's sitting on Wistia right now. Yeah.
To tell you when people are dropping off, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, honestly, the biggest drop off happens within the first like 7 to 8 minutes.
Okay, so when you redo your webinar, in the 5 minute mark, you need to not sell your product. You need to sell them staying on another 5 minutes. So at that 5 minute mark, which is before the majority of people bounce off, you say, and in a moment, I'm going to show you something you can do with your right and left hand that will stop you in the moment that addiction happens. And more of that in about just 5 minutes. We're going to get there, but it's super important that you understand that what it is going to change your life. You just keep going. You'll see great speakers. You'll see copywriters. It's really good. Like now, pay attention because what I'm going to share with you next, next is going to blow your mind. I'm going to keep building up, keep selling that the time that they're investing with you is going to be worth it, and is worth it, and is getting more worth it. And if you really want to be sneaky, dude, like this is crazy. I just thought it was like you're a psychologist. Psychology? You got a doctorate in psychology?
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know. Okay, I'm going to share this with you, but then you decide if you can do it or not. Like, if you said something like, I have a little bit of background in NLP and hypnosis.
Okay.
Hypnosis, but and I'm curious. So, like for instance, if this was a hypnosis webinar, you were selling hypnosis. People are into hypnosis, right? And like, you could literally say something like, "Be sure to like you're going to get a result just by watching this training because there's a hypnosis track that's running that if all you get out of this at the end of the 30 minutes, you're just going to have more energy and sleep better tonight." Would that be cool? So does that make sense? And people that are into hypnosis love it because they're into hypnosis. Like I've learned this in many markets, not all markets, but in markets like hypnosis and internet marketing, we love being sold to. Like Russell, selling back in the day, he would sell the perfect webinar product. He'd be telling people, and you're inside a perfect webinar right now, like concept, right? And people felt that they're in on the secret, and it was good. It's like I always think, I always think it was crazy. Like back in the day, listen to like Russell's like marketing in your car. He'd literally be talking about his numbers and his conversions, but we're the people he's like doing all these like secret tricks to. But instead of being like validated, like oh, it's like oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And so the addiction space is, I feel like, on the peripheral, but those people, again, this is all habits, right? And or a doctor of psychology, you might be able, and so ethically, you probably want to do like a subconscious soundtrack. You might be able to say, like, listen, it's super important, and then you also you make your webinar much shorter in time to tell them, like, look, this class is this. You can even say like, look, this is based off of one of my lectures. Again, the word lecture in most cases doesn't sound good, but for you, because you're a doctor, status. So this is one of my I'm not sure if you ever did a TED Talk, but you have. So this is based off of one of my TED Talk lectures. Now, usually when I do lectures, they're like 2 hours, and I'm talking to students. Remember, I am a doctor of psychology, guys, but I also was an ex-addict, and I also know that ain't nobody's gonna watch this for 2 hours, and I need to get the result today. And I don't like my purpose today is you are better off, you're a better person, you're a better being, whatever it is, and your chance to whatever of stopping this thing if you really want to, and you deep down inside you really do. The chance is better than the 30 minutes you invested. It's a good value exchange. So I condensed for you today. So it's just only 2 or 3 minutes on a free frame. Even though we want to go right into it, I'm sure you mentioned TED Talk on your webinar somewhere, right? So, right?
I mention it and I show a picture of me on the stage.
Right. So this way, we still get to show it. Still get to show how awesome you are, and that you're super smart. And everything. I'm just trying to speed up because of the time. Like you get the idea. But we just this in the reframe is saying, look, normally I'm doing these things for more time, but we're condensing for you. But this is my commitment. I'm giving you only the stuff in this short 27-minute presentation. But there is a sneaky thing that I'm doing, and it's not sneaky because I'm going to tell you. Throughout the presentation, I will be talking. Or you can not say sneaky. Sneaky is not the right word. Intentional thought is there, but you see where this is going.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Cool.
I could say something like, I've made sure to put some implicit pieces here in the middle, so that just by watching this and absorbing the information in this, you're already going to help your addiction get better.
There you go. And make sure, though, guys, that I'm committed to giving you the absolute best in the next 27 minutes. But I need, though, is a commitment from you to watch the entire thing, because if you don't get the last piece, there's a reason why I did certain things. If you don't get the last pieces, it's as if it's not, you lose everything or whatever. You don't.
Got it.
That's some heavy stuff. Yeah.
So I just this, like, just have to do this.
And we went over 30 minutes. I love it. Well, this is good.
This is awesome.
The key thing is that you only have, Julie Stone talks about this, the loop.